Okay, hi Tammy, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
You want to come in? You want to have a seat? Okay. So, did you find this all right? The office all right?
Yeah, it was pretty easy to get to.
Okay, good. Um, are you comfortable in this room? Is there anything you need, like a blanket or anything?
No, I think I'm good for now.
Okay. Any water?
No, thank you.
Okay. Well, this is our first time that we're going to meet, so it's not going to be like the normal times, the other sessions that we'll have.
Okay.
It's just going to be me getting to know you and finding out about, what's bothering you and getting some background information. Uh, is it okay if I call you Tammy?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, my name is Rosalyn Locke, and I'm a licensed professional counselor, and my job is to help you deal with the issues that you are having. Um, I know you read and signed the confidentiality statement, uh, but I need to tell you in person that what you say to me in these sessions is confidential, and uh, I won't tell anyone else anything that you say to me in these sessions unless it has to do with harming yourself or others or is about abuse, elder abuse or child abuse.
Okay.
Okay? All right. So first I'm going to ask you some questions that may be a little bit strange because they're not going to be the normal types of questions. It'll just be, background things. Um, ooh, um, okay, so what brings you here today? What brings you here?
I'm just kind of having some issues with my daughter right now.
Okay, do you want to describe a little bit more about the issues?
Well, she's just being a little bit defiant, I guess. She's 15 and I'm having a really hard time with her. I'm a single mom and I'm just trying to do my best to raise her and I'm just met with a lot of resistance.
Okay, I'm sorry, before I go on, is it okay if I take notes?
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay, I'm gonna just write some things that you tell me down so that I don't forget things that we can address later on. Okay, so you're saying that your daughter, you have a problem with your daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and that she's really causing you a lot of stress and anxiety.
Right.
Okay. And that is upsetting to you.
It is. It's a lot to deal with on top of working to take care of her and just then raising her alone. It's a lot.
Yeah. Uh, so how does it make you feel that your relationship with your daughter is not what you would like it to be?
Um, it's sad. I thought that I had done a better job raising her, that um, she would know better than to disrespect me the way she does, and it's just really sad for me to see her make the choices that she makes.
Okay. So I heard you say that you feel like your daughter is making bad decisions
Hmm.
because you feel like you didn't raise her right?
No, I mean, I feel like I gave her everything that she needed. I'm saying that I thought I did raise her right. I thought I told her right from wrong, and I don't know, I guess, what went wrong that now she's acting out and I'm having these issues.
So now you need to understand why she's making the decisions that she's making.
Right.
Okay. Um, how often is she disrespectful to you?
Pretty much on a daily basis.
What kind of disrespect is she showing you?
Um, she uses a lot of profanity with me, and it's not even, you know, not that profanity is ever appropriate, but she's not even using it at appropriate times. It's like if I'm asking her to do her homework, she will scream expletives at me, or if I'm asking her to, maybe shut the door because she's being too loud, she cusses me out, and so she's not even using it in the right sense. Like
So
it's
it's out of
not.
context.
It is. It's she just uses it in her everyday language, and it's just very ugly, and I don't care to hear it all the time.
So it's just the way that she talks now. It's not that she's directing it towards you necessarily.
I mean, she is as well. When she gets upset with me, she's calling me, inappropriate names and the B word, and that she effing hates me and stuff like that. So it's like she is using it, in that derogatory way, but then it's like she's using the F word like it's an adjective or a verb on top of that as well, and um, it's too much. It's constant.
Okay, so you're bothered by the frequency more in the setting, I guess.
Right.
Okay. And you said it's every day.
Yes.
Um, okay.
And she's also like I've given her a curfew and I've told her like 100 times, like, you have to, it's a school night, you shouldn't be out anyways, but if you're going to be out, please come home at 10. And then she doesn't come home and I'm calling her and she's not answering, and like I'm having to stay up worrying about her, and it's just, I don't want to be up till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning waiting for her to come home because I have to go to work the next day. Somebody has to work to, provide for her, and she doesn't understand that.
Yeah. So you're frustrated that she, I guess, is not considerate of what you have to go through
Mm-hmm.
to help her become an adult.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, let's talk more about you a little bit.
Okay.
Uh, what makes you happy?
Mm, you know, um, if there ever is a glimpse of my daughter behaving, I just, or maybe her when she was younger, up until recently, she was very much just being the woman she was becoming, was very, it made me feel good, but now maybe not so much. But, I have a lot of pride in being a mother.
Are you afraid of what is going to happen to her?
Most definitely. I feel like if she's going down the track that she's going, that it's only going to lead to, unfortunate events. And it's hard to, for her to see that maybe because she doesn't understand, what life is all about. She can't see past being 15 and having a good time. So I'm very worried for her.
Okay. Um, so it makes you happy when you see the good parts of your daughter, the how you remember her when she was maybe a little bit younger.
Right.
Okay. How do you get yourself out of a bad mood if you're in a bad mood?
Well, I just, yeah, I like to just, if I'm upset, I'll just come home and put on some Grey's Anatomy and just sit down with a glass of wine and just kind of unwind. And that usually can bring me out of my bad mood.
Okay. About how often do you have a glass of wine?
About every night.
Really? Is
Hmm.
it just one glass of wine every
It's
night?
1 to 2. I never get wild to where I can't come to work the next day and perform my job duties. But it is just a little something at the end of the night that allows me to go to sleep when needed and just makes me feel a little bit better.
Okay. So you're not drinking a bottle after work every night?
Not typically.
Okay, good. I did notice on your intake form that you are diabetic,
Right.
and that you're on insulin.
Right.
Does your doctor know that you drink?
Um, I think I might have moved over that part in my background forms with my doctor, so I'm not really sure that he's aware uh, that that I'm engaging in alcoholic beverages maybe as much as I let on.
Does it affect your blood sugar?
I don't typically check it while I'm drinking.
Well, I mean, like that night or the next day. Does it, like,
No, not usually.
okay. Uh, okay. So, what do you like to do, like for hobbies, when you're not at work? Things that you like to do when you're not at work,
Um,
besides drink.
well, I mean, I guess it's still related to drinking, but I love when, my friends will call me up and be like, hey, let's go out and have a girls' night, and, we'll go to like a wine bar or just go to like, a nice restaurant and maybe have a couple cocktails if it's happy hour and stuff. So, um, I enjoy spending time with some of my friends.
Well, that's good. So you do get out and you're not at home all the time.
Right.
And does that make you happy too?
It does. I like to be, I like to have a social life, a part of, away from my house as well. But yeah,
Well, that's good. Who do you spend the most time with?
it would probably at this point be my daughter.
Okay.
Aside for outside of work, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like most of my time is probably spent at work. But if I'm not there, I'm usually, even though I don't see her very much because she hardly comes home, but she is usually probably the person that I see the most throughout the week.
Okay. Um, you said she hardly comes home.
It's like she's gone. I get home from work at 5:30, and she gets out of school whenever, and then she'll call me and say, "Hey, I'm so at so and so's house, and I'll be home later," and I'll tell her to be home at 10, and then, you know, I'll, she'll come home at like 11 or 12 or 1 or 2 or
In
whenever
the
she.
school week.
Oh yeah, whenever she pleases, and but yeah, when she is home, she's really the only person outside of work that I spend a lot of time with.
Okay. Uh, what do you like to do when you're alone? Like to relax?
I like to treat myself to like a pedicure or manicure, or maybe go get a massage. Just when I'm away from everything, I like to spend that time to have me time. If I'm at home and I'm alone, I'll just maybe take like a nice bubble bath and just kind of, you know, just relax and kind of get my mind off of everything.
Okay. Uh, so back to your daughter and the issues that you're having with your daughter. Uh, what do you think bothers you? What is the main issue that you have with her? What is your main concern with your daughter?
Probably just the disrespect.
Okay, so you're concerned about her disrespect towards you. Is it the language she chooses to use, or the fact that she doesn't feel like she needs to come home when you tell her she needs to come home?
I think it's both. It's just as her mother, she should respect the fact that I've set rules for her and the fact that she blatantly disregards them. I think, um, you know, it shows that she has no respect for me.
Okay. Have you had a conversation with your daughter about her lack of respect?
I've tried. These days, she's very hard to sit down with. She often will just kind of roll it off or just kind of, act busy or maybe not even really engaging in the conversation with me. So it's more of me telling her, but she's not an active participant in the conversation.
Like you're talking to a wall.
Pretty much.
Okay. How does that make you feel when you feel like she's not even paying attention?
I mean, it just goes back to the disrespect. Like, um, I'm her mother and I raised her, and she just, I would have never done that to my parents. I would have got popped across, the face for something like that. And just the fact that she thinks that that's okay to talk to adults like that is absolutely, horrifying to me.
So you were disciplined more strongly than you discipline your daughter.
Um, yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't hit her. Um, I don't hit her or anything, but I try to be strict with, like when it comes to groundings and stuff, and, but she just really doesn't care. I mean, she'll defy me, and I can't like chain her to her bed and make her stay, so, I'm kind of like, at, you know, at a brick wall, like there's nothing else I feel like I can do.
So you feel like you are trapped and like your hands are tied?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. And you're unsure about what you need to do, how to address the situation.
Right.
Okay. Um, how would the perfect day be for you with your daughter?
Um, if when I woke up in the morning, she was already up and getting ready, and I wasn't having to drag her out of bed, and, just when it's time for her to go to school, she's ready, and there's not, any hassle, and I drop her off at school, and I don't hear from the teachers or the principals at all that day, and, I can focus on work because I'm not being interrupted by, phone calls from the school every 20 minutes, and, just, I come home and her chores are done and her homework's done and she's there, and, we can have dinner together and maybe watch a show that we share interest in, and, there's not a lot of fight or back talk.
What do you like to do with your daughter?
Well, the only thing that we really, I guess, bond over anymore is we both like The Real Housewives.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And do y'all watch it every week?
Usually that's about the only time she spends like quality time with me. It's like when, she knows that that's the one night that we watch Housewives, and that's usually about as much as I get her throughout the week.
And does she talk to you whenever y'all watch it?
A little bit, but not much.
Because she's in the show. And
Yeah, she doesn't want to chat. I mean, she'll be like, "Oh my gosh, can you believe that?" and stuff like that. But we're not like actively engaged in the conversation.
do y'all talk about it afterwards or
No, not
no?
really.
Okay. Well, so your main concern with her is that she's disrespectful,
Hmm.
and you are not going to, you know, treat her like your parents treated you.
Right.
Uh, what do you think could be something maybe that you could do? Like you said that when you ground her, she doesn't stay grounded.
Right.
It's pointless to ground her. Do you think that there's anything else? Like, have you tried taking away any other privileges? Does she have a car?
I mean,
She's
I
15?
she's 15. She doesn't have a car, but her friends will just come and pick her up, and um, that's about. And her phone, I'll take her phone away, but um, I don't know how kids these days. She figures something out. She is still able to contact with people. I don't know if she's making these claims at school when she doesn't have her phone, but
So taking away her phone doesn't do
no.
any good.
I mean, I've kind of considered like the Scared Straight
Mm-hmm.
programs, and I've looked into that a little bit, and even I've wondered about like maybe when she doesn't come home, like calling the cops on her
Uh-huh.
and just just kind of to scare her. But I would hate to call the cops on her and then her get in trouble. I feel like I would carry a lot of guilt if she were to get if they were to like catch her doing something, if she were to get arrested.
Okay, so you're not afraid of her getting caught for like being out past curfew by the cops.
I
You're
mean,
afraid she's gonna get caught doing something totally illegal.
like I want them to shake her down and scare her, but I don't want them to charge her. Like I don't want that to be on her record and then
Yeah,
know that it's like I did that to her.
yeah. So, but you've never actually called the cops
Um,
because you're afraid that she might be doing other things.
I mean, I have called them one time because she didn't come home like all night. She was gone, and like I hadn't even heard from her since I dropped her off to school the next day, and like she didn't come home all night, and so I did call and make like like a
A missing.
runaway kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But they said it was too early, but they still took the information and looked for her. But then the next day, I was waiting at her school, hoping that maybe I would see her there, and then she was getting dropped off. So I called the cops and let them know,
That
and
you
they
knew where she was and
yeah,
she
and
was
they
at school.
canceled it. So she's never actually. I mean, I have called, but she's never actually been in trouble with them.
Okay. About school, she goes to school all the time. She like goes to all of her classes all the time.
No, not really. Her friends. I mean, she probably only goes to school because her friends are there, but she's in a like alternative program, so she only has to go to school like a couple of hours a day.
Is she in an alternative school or it's an alternative like graduation plan?
It's kind of like an alternative graduation plan. She's so truant that there's this school called AIM, and like when the kids are having problems, they just I guess it kind of reinforces the fact that they don't they don't want to be in school, but it shortens the hours to help them achieve
Graduation.
graduation.
And she's 15, so she's a sophomore in high school
Yeah,
and she's already there.
yeah.
Is there any way to get her if she goes through this program, is there any way to get her out of it?
She can go back to regular school um, if if we choose to have her in regular school, or if she chooses to be in regular school. Um, but more than likely, it'll be probably she'll probably stay in it because it seems that we've had more progress with her grades and stuff with her because
Uh-huh.
it's a little bit smaller classes and she's maybe not having to put out as much effort.
So you're satisfied right now with the amount of schoolwork she's doing because she is actually doing it.
And she's getting the credit for it.
So that's all right for now.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see her in, a regular school setting, but I guess just going with what I've been given, that this will probably, you know, have to work. Like, it seems to be effective, and I would hate to take her out and her go to school and then, get kicked out of school or expelled or not show up. So
Yeah.
it's a good option for now.
Okay. So concerned about her disrespect, and you're concerned about her school, and if she's only going to school is about part time, right? Have
Mhm.
you thought about maybe telling her that she needs to do some more, like maybe get a job?
Yeah, I've kind of pressed the issue on her about that, but she like keeps on telling me that nobody will hire her because she's 15, and I've told her like, hey, well, you could probably babysit, you could find some kids in the neighborhood, but then she's kind of a little brat, and I mean, I can't believe that anybody would want this disrespectful, potty mouthed 15-year-old to watch their child. So it's like I can't even actively, push her into that because I wouldn't trust her with a child. I don't trust her with
Okay,
herself.
okay. Um, what is your main fear for her?
Um, I fear for her safety. I fear that she's not making, smart decisions, that she's going to get herself into a situation where she could be harmed or, um, that'll impact her in the long run. Like, I just know she doesn't engage in safe decisions, and I would hate for her to ever be in a situation where she's in harm, or even, if she's being promiscuous. Like, I would hate for her to, end up like pregnant or, something like that. I would just, it's a scary thought.
Have you talked to her about that?
Yeah, a couple years ago when she told me that she was actively engaging um, in some fornication, we decided that it was probably best for her to be on birth control just because she told me up front that she started real young, and I kind of felt like it was like Pandora's box. Like once it was open, I'm not necessarily condoning it, but I just want her to. Um, I want her to make smart decisions. I know she's a teenager and she has a mind of her own, and so if she is engaging, I would hope that she's protecting herself. And I thought maybe that by putting her on the pill, I was helping her protect herself.
Yeah. Do you know that she's taking it?
That's another issue that scares me. It's like, I know she keeps the pill at home, and I know she's hardly home, so it's like she may not be taking it consistently. So, we're taking these extra precautions for her to be safe, but it's like she could still very well end up, pregnant if she's not taking it how she should be. So, I mean, I hope that she takes it, you know, regularly enough.
Have you told her about your concerns for her safety?
Yeah, and she just kind of is like, I don't get why you don't trust me, and I'm fine, I'm not as stupid as you think I am, and I'm like, well,
So she thinks you're overreacting, I guess.
right,
But you have legitimate fears for her. And if she's not at home and not taking her pills, then that could put her in a bad situation.
right.
Um, when she doesn't come home and you're wondering where she is, do you call her or text her?
Um, well, I try to, but the last couple of times that she's done that, she had been grounded, and I had taken her phone from her. So, I mean, if she's not coming home, I'll like call her friends and stuff. I have a lot of their information, and I know they're probably lying to me and telling me like, oh, I haven't seen her, but when I am trying to get a hold of her, she's very hard to track down.
Okay. And she won't check in with you willingly.
Not usually if she's breaking the rules. Um, she'll tell me ahead of time, like if she is gonna go somewhere, maybe. Um, and then she'll tell me that she's gonna be home at 10, and so it's like if we're maybe on good terms, I'll tell her, okay, that's fine, be home at 10, and then she doesn't come home, and then so like the next time she's not gonna tell me, she's just gonna go because she knows I'm gonna say no because she didn't follow through the last time.
Okay. Uh, so you talked a lot about your daughter and the stress that she's causing you. And you're afraid for her safety, and it bothers you when she doesn't show you respect,
Mm-hmm.
and when she doesn't come home, and you're afraid that she's making bad decisions that will affect her for the rest of her life.
Right.
Um, okay. Uh, well, I think that you have made good decisions regarding your daughter. Uh, I would like to continue working on this a little bit more. Our time is about up for today.
Okay.
Uh, so next time we're going to work on your issues with your daughter and go into more depth with
Okay.
all of that. Is there anything else that you need to talk about
No,
today?
I think that's. I feel like I got a lot out.
You did, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You shared a lot of information with me tonight, and I'm really grateful for you being so open with me. I know it can be difficult to, share all this intimate information with somebody that you just met.
Right.
Uh, so that was, really brave of you to come here and, seek help. So, uh, well, I think we made a really good start today. So, I guess, do you want to come back the same time next week? Same day?
Yeah, that works
Or
for me.
is weekly good? Do you want to keep seeing me once a week or every 2 weeks?
Yeah, let's maybe do every 2 weeks. I don't know how many sessions my insurance is plans on approving.
Okay, well, I can have some more information on that for you next time
Okay.
too. Um, so let's take you out to the front and we'll get you set up for next time.
All right.
All right, thank you. Okay, and don't